Happy full moon in Aries. I couldn't not do a video because I'm an Aries rising and I have Mars in Aries and I have Chiron in Aries. So I am feeling, I couldn't even sleep. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I was like, boom, let's go. But I did go back to sleep because I was like, I have a big day. If you're new to me, my name is Elle Davis. I am a spiritual coach, mentor. I've been a channel and healer for over 20 years. So I was going to say almost 25 now at this point. And my whole emphasis is working on future self-embodiment. So I'm going to talk about this full moon from the lens of futuring. You'll see what that means. I really believe we are here to become the best version of ourselves. And of course, we have to do some fun healing and coming back home to ourselves and reclaiming all of who we are. And that's what futuring's about. It's not about spiritual bypassing and trying to live out in the future somewhere out there. It's really about bringing the energy of who you want to become and co-regulating and becoming it now. So this full moon, you guys, is a mirror showing you who you've become and who you're still afraid to be. Aries is the energy of, it's the first sign of the astrological wheel. It's the go energy. And I have to say, I've read this book by Deborah Silverman. It's her most recent one. I don't remember the name right now. I should. But she talks about the rising signs as that being your your soul's assignment, your soul's destiny. And Aries is a leader. They go first. It's the I am energy. It's the spark of I am. And so this full moon comes in and is asking you, are you living as your future self, or are you still kind of hanging out and being your past self? And why is that even important? Well, because your past self, you've already done that. You've already you know that essence. You already know. And it's so easy sometimes to get in our comfort zone and just kind of cruise and be like, okay, I want to stay safe. I want to feel good. But we're not here just for that. We're here to expand our vessels to receive more light and blessings. And those blessings are the very things that you've been asking for in your life, the abundance, the relationship, the health. And so imagine what's more important to you. Is it staying the same and not having those things, or is it getting a little uncomfortable and allowing yourself to grow and expand into who you're really meant to be? And I'm going to call you to that because that's the work that I do in this world is seeing your best and highest and who you're meant to be in this life. When I channel, that is one of my gifts is I can see all that and I can see where you're destined to go and who you're destined to be. And I get really bummed out when I work with people sometimes, and it's always we have free will, right? But they decide to not make any changes and just to continue staying in their comfort zone because they're addicted to it. And it's sad because they don't reach their potential. It's true. But most of the people I work with do because they hire me for a very specific reason to get there. So this lunation is going to light up the axis between Aries and Libra. So that is Aries is the I, and then Libra is the we. And Libra, it's such a beautiful sign. Both my daughters are Libra risings, and I never had that much connection with Libra before until those girls. And Libra is ruled by Venus. It's all the aesthetics, it's relationships, it rules the seventh house of partnership, balance. It's just a really, really beautiful energy. And so I think when you kind of consider this energy, it's asking you to think about where you might be dimming your truth, playing it safe, maybe even being small in some ways because you're afraid of how that will impact or affect the other. So this full moon is going to illuminate for you those areas because if you are not in your authenticity or true to yourself, how can you do that in a relationship? If you don't have your own back, if you are not your own best friend, how the heck do you expect to show up in relationship to other people and not cave? when something gets uncomfortable or difficult. I mean, God, if I told you how, I mean, I feel like the nature of my coaching, spiritual coaching, is sometimes having those uncomfortable conversations with people, the ones that will literally change their lives, where most people are terrified to say that thing to them. I'm not. I'm like, hey, we need to address the elephant in the room, the one that nobody else will bring up to you. Because a lot of times if you're I find this, and I don't know why I'm feeling called to bring this up. Sometimes you might have those people in your life that enable you to stay the same. Oh, you're so wonderful. You're so great. You're so this, oh my gosh, I love you so much. Yeah, that's wonderful. But how about the friend that is going to tell you the frickin' truth when you need to hear it? The friend that when, one of my girlfriends asked me recently, she told me a story and she's like, "Hey, Dawn, could you tell me what you think about this?" And I remember saying to her, I said, "Do you want the truth? Because I'm more than willing to tell you the truth that I am seeing. Doesn't mean it's the truth, right? Like I'm not, in any way claiming to be God. I was just saying, hey, I'll tell you the truth that I'm seeing, but I need your permission because it might be uncomfortable." And she was like, "Bring it," because this girl's like a warrior. I mean, she is so strong. And I had to tell her the truth. I was like, "You are pushing, you're being defensive. You're pushing this guy away because it had to do with a relationship. You're pushing him away. You're not letting him rise to the occasion. All these things that were happening." And it was because I believe in her and I believe that the truth is so beautiful when shared in a safe space with permission. But if I was just wanting to like kiss her, kiss ass and not tell just be like, "Oh yeah, everything, yeah, well, you didn't do anything wrong." 'Cause sometimes girls get on the bandwagon. "Oh my God, he's such a jerk." It's like, how is that? And especially if he's not being a jerk, but how does that help someone when you placate and enable? And so Libra, the shadow frequency is codependency. It's that enabling energy. And so where have you been enabled and where might you be enabling other people because you're too goddamn afraid to show up in the truth of who you are? And maybe it's because I'm in my fifth decade, but I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm like, it's time for me to express who I really am. I always have, but I did it somewhat diluted. I would say something, but I was always afraid, oh my gosh, because I'm intuitive, I'd be like, how is this person receiving that? Or, oh my gosh, if I say this, and now I'm like, no, as long as I say it from the integrity of my heart, I gotta be me. You have to be you. Aries rules the first house of your identity, your body. So of course it's going to be different in your chart. Since I'm an Aries rising, it is in my first house. It is my identity. So I'm getting this extra oomph right now of let's go, Dawn. Like, let's do it because of my Chiron moon being there, all of it, right? Mars being there for me. Mars rules Aries. So there's just a lot happening. We also have Mercury moving into Scorpio, and my Mercury, I'm like, this is a very exact full moon for me. My Mercury in my natal chart is in Scorpio, and I am able to talk about the very shadowy things that most people won't talk about. It's also where my psychic abilities come from. So I want you to know that you may have deeper conversations with people. You may be clearing the air with people these next couple of weeks. There may be things that were in the shadows that all of a sudden come to the light, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't even see that coming. But Mercury gives you such a ability to articulate some of the things that are more difficult usually to say. And it also gives you psychic insight. It's channeling. It's one of the reasons I'm a really good channel because I have Mercury and Scorpio, and so I'm able to see the hidden, secretive, beyond the veil type of things. So you're also during this time going to have that ability as well. So take heart and use that to your advantage. So if Aries does not want to play small and it wants to play big, this energy wants you to act boldly, unapologetically, and from your next level identity. Let's talk about that for a moment. Who are you becoming? So if you are in a space where you're like, I have no idea who I'm becoming. Well, come join my Future Self Circle. It's a year-long membership where every month we have a master class where we're talking about becoming your future self. And I teach you the very things you need to do to become her or him. If you don't have a pulse on what your dreams are and who you want to become, you are missing out, my friend. And it could be for so many different reasons. Maybe you've been in survival because you've had a lot of things going on. I understand. Maybe it's because you haven't had the space to dream lately. But I want to encourage you. If Aries is the I am and it's illuminating your identity, I want you to think about what are the identities you need to let go of, because Aries might show you that. It'll show you not only the identity you need to let go of, but the relationships that hinder you from becoming that identity. And that is difficult. I know because I am a collector. I've used to collect friends. I loved having a million friends. In my 30s, I was on the phone all the time, helping everybody, doing all these things. And then I grew up and I was like, I don't have time to be everybody's cheerleader. I have to be my own. And I have to be very selective with the people that I'm willing to do that for. And then it went even further than that. It was like, wait a second, I have to be mindful of the people in my life that are able to hold space for who I'm becoming. They're not trying to hold me down and say, oh, no, 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 Dawn, don't change. Be who you were 10, 15 years ago. We like that version of you. Well, I've changed a lot in the last couple of years. I haven't had a drink in 2 years. I eat differently. I live in a different city and state. I've changed my whole entire life in this short period of time. So if somebody was like, oh my gosh, you're making me uncomfortable, I'd be like, bye. I know that sounds really rough, but it's the truth. You guys cannot have people in your life. It's like the crab bucket. Have you heard that one where there's not a lid on the bucket and all the crabs, if a crab tries to escape, another crab will pull the crab down. It doesn't want it to leave. It's almost like, hey, misery loves company. Let's all talk about our shit and all the problems we have, and let's just stay stuck in this energy. No, no. Talk about your dreams. Talk about what lights you up. Talk about the new hobby you want to start. Talk about the ways that you want to grow and expand. The books that you're reading, the things that, your new cooking recipe. I don't know, whatever it is that lights you up. So from a futuring perspective, this full moon is a moment to merge your vision with your embodiment, because nothing happens if it's just up here. We got to land it into the body and down into the root chakra, really deep into that space. So reclaim your I am. What is your I am statement? I am love. I am this. What are you? Really do it from the lens of your future self. Release the outdated versions of you that keep you looping in hesitation or self-doubt. And anchor into the future frequency of courage, because that, you guys, is what Aries is all about, is the courage, the kind that makes aligned action inevitable. And so when you think about Libra being peaceful, I want you to think about how when you are at peace with yourself, because I'm telling you to take bold action. I'm telling you to get out of your comfort zone. I'm saying to do all these things, right? But part of this is, can you find peace within yourself? So even when you're up leveling or you're out of your comfort zone, you can maintain the energetics within you. And this is the thing. Peace is not something that I talked about this in the Soulcast, I believe, for the month. Peace is not something you resource outside of yourself. It is something that you have to be self-sourced. You have to know thyself. You have to have practices and rituals that help you come back home to yourself. Otherwise, you're just going to bounce around in this world right now. And so there's a beautiful harmony with Libra, and we are meant to balance that. And so when you are in your relationships, can you be at peace within yourself? Can you love from that place of honoring who you are, but also honoring another? Can you get so excited about your bold visions that you can bring the we and the collective into that? When I think about what I want to do in this world and how I want to help people heal, one of my visions beyond bringing future self embodiment to you and to the world and all that kind of stuff, because I find it such a beautiful way to heal. I just love it as a healing journey. But is my other vision is to bring alternative and complementary medicine to become a household name, that healing modalities that have been around for years. And so when I think about that, I'm like, who do I need to be? Kind of voice do I have to have in order to express that and bring that into the collective? It's already there, but part of my mission is to bring it even more so. So we all have this internal purpose of who we are, and I am here for, whatever it is. I'm saying that just in general for you. But how can you balance that with the collective and the partnerships, the collaborations, the energy that you find yourself in? And just make sure, because I was talking about this in my soul coach, just make sure that you find those partnerships that really hold you in the space of your growth and your beauty. So I just want to give you a reflection prompt, and then I just want to do a quick channel. So if your future self could make one courageous move this week, or I'll give you 2 weeks since we have two weeks with the full moon, what would she or he do? And what energy would he or she carry while doing it? What's one courageous thing? For me, it's going to be launching a new program for healers, a mini mind. So if you are a healer and you're listening to me and you find some connection here and you want to know more about what I'm up to, just message me in the comments, healer, and I will send you some info. If you want to know more about the Future Self Circle, that meets every single month. We just started it last month. We have our next meeting next week. It's, replays if you can't join live, but it's the third Wednesday every month at 12 Pacific. 3 Eastern. So there you go with that. Okay, let me just pull a few cards just to close this up, because I just feel like channeling for this full moon. Boy, oh boy. Okay. So I got the authority card, which is the Emperor in the traditional tarot. I got patience, which is temperance, which is Sagittarius energy. And I got victory and success, which is a spiritual energy. So basically what these cards are saying for right here, right now. The Emperor card is so fun because it's this energy. One of the tarot teachers I learned from years ago, she said, it's like the redwood trees. If you've ever been to California we've seen the redwood trees. They're magnificent and majestic. They are so tall and so beautiful. And they don't fight for space. They're not like, oh my God, you're bigger than me, or oh my gosh, you're taking up too much. It's about how big can you let yourself be? It's so perfect for this Aries energy. How big can you let yourself be? How much can you believe in yourself so that you can be true to thyself and get to know thyself? And this is also a card of your foundation. Is your foundation, your vessel clear, clean, so that you can expand? Are you still holding on to old resentments and old what if stories? Let them go. Make peace with that. What do you need to let go of to fully move into who you're becoming? And the last thing I'll say about this Emperor card is sometimes it's non-emotional. It's kind of like, let's go. Like, that's the thing about Aries. Aries is impulsive. It's like, let's fucking go. Let's do this. I have that energy. I've had to learn how to temper all my fire. I have 7 planets in fire, you guys. And so I've had to learn how to temper it. And my Mars being in Aries. So tempering is spiritual maturity. It's knowing that that impulsivity is best when it's grounded, but it's not about letting the fire burn out. It's not about like, oh, let me sit on this until it's so perfect. No, it's like, let me get non-emotional. Let me make sure I'm not in reactivity. Let's go. And I'll go first. Done it many times. I'm just saying that because that's the Aries energy, although that is also my motto. I'll do the things that most people won't do in a good way. So how can you take that redwood, beautiful, big, majestic tree energy, apply it to your own life? What do you need to get going on? What have you been holding out on? It's time to do it. Then we get the temperance card, which is very much what I was saying. It's the non-reactivity. It's the spiritual maturity. You never want to do things from like whether you want to think of it from a human design perspective, like in the emotional authority, like when you're up on the wave or down on the wave, you don't want to make decisions from there. You don't want to make decisions from reactivity ever, 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 ever. Like take your time. If you're trying to work something through or work something out, please, 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 please come down from crazy first. Whether you're angry or whether you're just on a high, like just give yourself some neutrality and then decide and then go for it. Because this is the card of patience. This is trusting the unfolding. So you might already be in the becoming of something in your I am statement or your boldness or putting something out into the world. This is saying trust the process. It doesn't all have to happen overnight. Like let it unfold, let it be really organic. Trust that you're held by the divine. Because if you do that and you shine and you let yourself be bolder and you come out with whatever you're working on and do it in such a way that it's just kind of natural to you, then you're going to have the victory and success because that's a 6 card, which is very much the alignment, the soul alignment, spiritual alignment that you are looking for right now in your life. I hope you enjoy this. Comment future self if you want to join the future self circle. I'll put the details down below. And if you're interested in learning more about my healer mini mind, that's going to be starting in November, just comment healer and I'll share the details. Have a beautiful rest of your day.